Everyone. Welcome to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving for competitive exams. Today we will do coding and decoding and we'll understand all the types of questions that come in such exam. So before we start, let us understand that what do you actually mean by coding and decoding. Let's say if A is written as 1, B is written as 2, C is written as 3 and we have to find the code for D. So whenever I write A as 1, it basically means that I am coding an alphabet into a number, right? I am encrypting the value of an alphabet into a number. This is called coding. This is called coding, where A is the original form. Okay, what do you mean by decoding? So if I say that I have 4, what will be the alphabet in corresponding to 4? So in this case, I have to find the logic that is being followed. If 1 is represented as A, 2 is represented as B, that means that I am going in an ascending order of numbers also, and I am going in an ascending order of alphabets also. So here I can say that D will be the answer. 4 will be coded as D. D again is the original form. So when I answer this, when I identify the pattern and find the code for 4 or code for D, this is called as decoding. So this is the meaning of coding and decoding. Coding means that we are encrypting, it could be words, letters and numbers, anything. And we are following a specific pattern to do so. Decoding means we are identifying that pattern. We have to identify that pattern and again come back to the original form. Or I have, let's say if I had to code D further, then also I had to understand the previous logic and I will code D as 4. So this concept is called coding and decoding. Let us understand this concept in a better manner with the help of examples and segregating them into 8 types. So 8 types of questions can be formed in coding and decoding. The first one is letter coding, also known as alphabet coding. The second one is number coding. Then mixed letter and number coding, in which we have alphabets also and numbers also. Then we have substitution coding, in which we substitute a word into another word. For example, flower is called plant. So plant is a word that we use to denote flowers. So the normal logic is not followed, but we have substituted a word for the previous word. This is called substitution coding, which we will understand with the help of an example. Then we have symbol coding. Here we deals with different symbols. So when we deal with different symbols, that is called symbol coding. Then we have coding by pattern formation. What do you mean by pattern formation? If cat is written as like this. So basically, I have written the value of C last, written the value of T first, and A is in the same position. This is called coding by pattern formation. We are basically changing the pattern. Then we have sentence coded. In this, an entire sentence is coded into different symbols or letters or words, and we have to decode them. And coding by letter inversion. Letter inversion means if cat is written as TAC. So we have changed, we have inversed the order of the alphabets. This is called coding by letter inversion. Now let us understand all of these types in details with the help of example. The first one is letter coding. So to understand coding and decoding better, certain concepts that I have already told you in alphanumeric series will be used. First one will be opposite letter. The concepts of opposite letter. The second will be forward rank, wherein A is denoted as 1, B is denoted as 2 and so on. Then we had backward rank. Again in backward rank, A was denoted as 26 and Z was denoted as 1. Then fourth was looping or loop. Loop means that if I have to go to positions from Z, I'll go back from A. I'll start again from A. This is called looping. So these are very important to understand coding and decoding. Okay. Here in this question, we have to find if apple is coded as this, the symbols are given to us, the letters are given to us, and we have to find the code for orange. So whenever we get a question like this, first let us write the original form and then we'll write the coded form. So whenever we do this, it is easier for us to solve. So I can see that these are moving one position forward. From A, we are going to B, P to Q, L, M, and E, F. We are just moving one position forward. This is how this word is coded. So same logic we will follow for orange also. So while coding orange, we'll go just one position forward. So O will be coded as P, R, S, A, B, N, M, G, H, N, O, G, H, and E, F. So our coding will be P, S, B, O, H, and F. So option number 1 will be the correct answer. Here is the solution. Then we have number coding. In number coding, these numbers are coded as these numbers. So 7, 8, 6 is coded as 2, 1, 3. Now I can see these numbers are very smaller than these numbers. So maybe something is being subtracted. If we subtract 5 from 7, we'll get 2. If I subtract 7 from 8, I'll get 1. And if I subtract 3 from 6, I'll get 3. But then again, this does not follow a logical sequence. This is not into a logical sequence. Maybe if it would have been -3, -5, and -7, it would be logical. Or if it was -7, -5, -3, it would be logical. So this does not necessarily follows any logic. So let us try to solve it in a different way. I can see that if I write 999 over here, subtract it, I'll get 2, 1, and 3. That means each of this letter is being subtracted by 9. So let us do the same thing from 903. So if I subtract 903 from 999, I'll get 6, 9, and 0, which will be option number 3. So option number 3 will be my answer for this question. This is number coding. Each number is being coded in a certain way and we have to find out the pattern. Then mixed letter number coding. So this word is coded with the help of an alphabet and also a number. So let us find out. If you know ranking, just by the look of it, if cow is coded as D23, just by looking at it, I can say that 23 is the rank for W. W has forward rank of 23. So this number it represents the forward rank of last letter, last letter. This number is representing the forward rank. And this, I can say this is one position forward from C. So this letter represents this is one position forward from first letter, right? So similarly, if for cat we have to find out. For last letter T, the forward rank is 20. You can remember this with the help of a shortcut I told you, AJOT. E is ranked at 5, J at 10, O at 15, T at 20 and Y at 25. So T will be 20 and C will be plus 1, that is D. So my ranking, my coding for this word cat will be T20, which is option number 2. Okay, so this is how you solve mixed letter number coding. Then we have substitution coding. Okay, so in this question it is said that pen is called book, book is called sharpener, sharpener is called kite, kite is called eraser, eraser is called notebook, and we have to find out with which the person would write. So if we follow the logic, normally a person would write with pen, right? But over here, do we see pen as an option? No. So maybe the answer is something different, and that we have to find out. So over here, it is clearly written that pen is called a book. That means book is the substituted word for pen. So if I have to say that we write a pen, I can also say that we write, if I have to say that we write with a pen, I can also say that we have to write with a book, because book represents pen only. It is given in the question. So our answer will be option number 1, book. Even if there was an option 5 called pen, our answer will still be book, because in this particular question, book is the substituted word for pen. We are using book to denote pen. Hence, for this particular question and question like these questions for substitution, we do not follow the normal logic. Logically, we write with the pen, right? But we just look at the word that is being used to substitute and we use that instead. So our answer will be option number 1, book. Okay? Symbol coding. As I said, in symbol coding, we deal with all these various types of symbols. So for stone, we have a combination of symbol is given. For table, a combination of symbol is given. For store, a combination of symbol is given. And we have to find the code for roast. So in these type of questions, usually each alphabet denotes a code and we have to find that code. So let us write stone. It is coded as this. Similarly, store coded as so here let us understand by understanding the common letters. So I can see here S is coded as @ sign, T is coded as this sign, O is coded as this sign, and E is coded as this sign. So similarly, code for N will be this and code for R will be this. In this case, I can clearly see that the coding is not jumbled up. But in certain cases, even the coding is jumbled up, right? But here I can see that very clearly see the codes for the given words. Similarly, table is coded as this. Okay, so now I have to find the code for roast. So I can say that R is coded as $sign, O is coded as this, A is coded as this, S is coded as this, and T will be coded as this sign. So my answer will be $, this sign, this sign, this sign, and this sign, which is option number 2. So option number 2 will be the correct answer for this code. So as I said, in this particular question, the symbols were not jumbled up. Over here, I can clearly make out that these 3 are following the same pattern. They are in the same order. So N, I can clearly find the code for N and code for R. Similarly, over here, I can confirm that they are following the order. But in certain cases, the order is not being followed. In that particular case, we have to again understand the logic that is being followed. to understand the code. Okay, now coding by pattern change. What do you mean by coding by pattern change? I told you an example of cat. So let us understand this question as well. Apple is coded as PLEAP. If I see similar letters, like all the letters are similar, in this case, I can eliminate the option of coding by letter. Like these positions are not increased or positions are not decreased in any way. I can see an A, P, L, E. So positions are not changed. So if the positions are not changed, that means it could be either be coding by pattern change or it could be coding by letter inversion as well. So over here, if I try to find the pattern, I can see that P is coming over here. It could be this P also. L is coming over here. E is coming over here. Then this P maybe is going back. And this A is going back. So the first three letters I can see are written first. And then the two letters are written over here. So maybe the logic is that the last three letters will be written first and the first two letters will be written last. So let us see if we can find a code for grape in the similar pattern. So last three letters will be APE. So A, P and E will be written first and the first two letters are G and R, and G and R will be written later on. So our code will be APEGR. Do we have an option? Yes, we do have an option for APEGR, which will be the coding of this particular word. So basically, whenever we solve questions by pattern change, we have to understand the pattern. Sometimes it is like this. Sometimes if we have a 6-letter words, okay. Sometimes if we have a 6-letter words, the pattern is something like this. This is written here, here, here. This is a very common pattern that we get in exams. Okay, if it is a 4-lettered word, the pattern usually is this sometimes. So once you start solving more and more questions, it is easier for you to understand the pattern. In this case, the last 3 letters were written first and the first 2 letters were written last. Let's say if we had a different pattern, if we had something like this, if we had E, L, P, P and A. If we had something like this, then I can say this, if it is better to number these, okay? Then I can say it is written as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is also called coding by pattern change, but this is also an example of coding by letter inversion. So coding by letter inversion is a type of pattern only. Okay. So pattern change questions are very common and it is always advisable to write them one below the other to understand the pattern. Let us move on to the next question, which is sentence coding. So again, in sentence coding, we are given the kids laugh is coded as this, laugh with excitement is coded as this, excitement in kids is coded as this, and we have to find the code for in the. Okay, let us write. I'm using short forms only because we do not have that much space. So I'm writing the kids laugh. Okay, it is coded. Okay, let's take a different approach. The kids laugh is coded as PQRSLM. Okay, let us find a sentence in which we have either of the 3 words. So in this sentence, excitement in kids, I can see the word kids, right? So kids is common over here, kids is common over here. So kids, the only letter which is common in these 2 sentences is PQ. So I can say kids is PQ. So I can say kids is coded as PQ. Okay. Then let us move on. The kids laugh and laugh with excitement. Both of these sentences has laugh as common. Laugh and laugh. If we look at the codes, we have PQ, RS, LM. PQ is already coded as kids. So we have RS, LM, and over here we have AB, LM, NO. So the only symbols or the only letters which are common is LM. So laugh can be coded as LM. Okay. Now if PQ is coded as kids, LM is coded as laugh. So simply we can say the will be coded as RS. So we have found the code for the, which is RS. Okay. Let us move forward. Here we have laugh with excitement and excitement in kids. So the only common word is excitement. Okay. And here the code is ABLMNO and here the code is NOPQDF. So the only common letters is NO over here. Right? So I can say that excitement is coded as NO. Right? If excitement is coded as NO, kids is coded as PQ, and the only remaining letter is DF. So I can say in is coded as DF. So we have successfully found out the code for the in, which is RS and DF. Do we have an option with RS and DF? Yes. Option number 3. So in this particular question, the codes were jumbled up. The was coded as RS, which is the is in the first place over here. Right? But over here, the RS in the second place. So like in the previous question that we saw for symbol coding, the code was written in the same order as the alphabets. But over here, that is not the case. The codes are also jumbled up. So these type of question takes a little bit more time, and we have to find the codes individually for each alphabet by finding the sentences the words which are in common in the sentences. For example, in these two sentences, kids were common. In these two sentences, excitement was common. So that way we have to approach to find the answer. So over here is the solution, and the code is DFRS. Okay. If we have to find the code for with, because with is not mentioned anywhere. If we have to find the code for with will be the only remaining letter, which is AB. With will be AB. So in this manner, we can find the code for all the alphabets. Okay. Now this is the eighth type, which is coding by letter inversion. So I gave you an example of apple, right? It is written in the reverse order. So if if we rank them like this, A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we have to find the code for orange. Similarly, let us rank them like this. 6. So our code will be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At 6, we will have E. G will come at the 5th position. 4th position N. 3rd position A. 2nd position we will have R. And O will be at the 1st position. So our code will be EGNARO. So I can say the answer will be option 1. Okay, there was one more concept that I told you in alphanumeric when we were studying alphanumeric, the concept of elimination. Elimination basically means eliminating as many options as we can while solving the question. So when I got the code for E, when I got my first code, that is E, I could have eliminated all these 3 options and this will be the correct answer. So you can follow this method to come at your answers rather quickly. Okay, so this was the 8th type by letter inversion. So today we studied all the types: coding by letters, coding by numbers, coding by mixed letter numbers. Then we studied coding by pattern formation, coded by letter inversion. Then we studied coding by in sentences and also by substitution. So all these are the types of questions that can come from coding and decoding. So this concludes our lecture, and thank you.